Hello everybody. In this video I'm gonna talk about interest. What is the interest? Actually, interest is the price of money. When we are selling something or when we are buying something, when we sell something, we get some money, which is the price of the things that we are selling. Or when we are buying something, as an example, when I'm buying this marker, I have to pay the price. As an example, I have to pay $2 to buy this marker. The $2 is the price of this marker. When I'm working somewhere and I am getting paid, the amount of payment, actually I am selling my time and skills, and the salary that I am receiving or the wage that I am receiving in the price of my time and my skills. Money, same as all the other goods, have a price. When I'm deposited my money to a bank, as an example, in a saving account or any other type of account, actually I give the privilege to the bank to use my money to lend it to the other customers. In the return, bank pay me some extra money. If I, as an example, invest $10,000 in a bank account, at the end of the year, I have my $10,000 plus something extra. The amount of extra that I am receiving is the price of money that I sell to the bank. Or when another customer borrowing money from the bank, let's say as in a loan format, in mortgage format or whatever, the customer at the end or in the monthly payment pay some extra money plus the original money that borrowed. The extra money that is the customer is paying, we call it interest. Okay. So interest is the value, extra money that we are receiving from the bank when we are investing, or when we are returning to the bank when we are borrowing. Okay, the name is interest. Now, the amount of interest, usually we show it in percent format. As an example, when I say 5%, okay, we call it interest rate. Interest rate, okay, is the value of interest that we are paying to the bank when we are borrowing money, or bank pay to us when we are opening a saving account, or actually we are depositing in the money in the bank. And the original value that we are investing in the bank or we are borrowing from the bank, we call it principal. Principal is the original value. Principal is the original value of the money that we are investing in the bank or we are borrowing from the bank. Interest usually is in annual format. It means is per year, in 1 year. And how we can calculate the interest in the money that we are depositing in the bank? Interest is principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time. This is the formula for interest. Interest is the amount of money that is going to be added to the original value, which is the principal. Interest is equal to principal multiplied by rate, actually is annual rate in 1 year, multiplied by time per year. Okay. This is the how we can calculate the interest. And before going forward, we have two types of interest: simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest. I will explain simple interest first, then I will go continue in the compound interest. Let's use the simple interest by an example. I invested $5,000 in a saving account with the annual interest rate of 7% for 3 years. Okay. Now, I invested 5,000, I deposited or I opened a saving account. $5,000 I deposited in my saving account. The interest rate is 7% per year, actually is the annual interest, and I invested my money for 3 years. How much gonna be the interest at the end of the 3 years? So this is the formula. Interest is equal principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time. How much is the principal? Principal is $5,000. Is the original value that I invested in the bank. How much is the rate? Rate is 7%. When we are substituting the percent in the formula, we should convert it in decimal format. If you remember, converting percent to decimal, we divided by 100, or we move the decimal 2 positions to the left. 7 divided by 100 is going to be 0.07. And how much is the time? Is going to be 3 years. Okay. If we calculate this value, okay, 7 times 5 is 35. If we calculate this one, it's going to be 5,000 multiplied by 0.07 multiplied by 3, which going to be 1,050. $50, yeah, $1,050 is going to be amount of interest after 3 years. What it means? It means after the 3 years, if I want to close my account, how much money should I will get back? I will receive 5,000 plus the 5,000 was my original value, plus this $1,050, which is my interest. $6,050 I'm gonna receive at the end of this 3 years. This $6,050, we call it maturity value. Maturity value. Maturity value, I use this maturity value, is the principal money, the original money that I invested, plus the amount of interest. Maturity value is the principal, the original value, plus the interest. In this example, it's going to be 5,000. Maturity value is going to be 5,000, which is the principal, plus $1,050, which in total is going to be $6,050 is going to be my maturity value. Okay, let's use another example. Let's do another example. Let's say I borrowed $10,000. I borrowed $10,000 for 9 months, and the interest rate is 3%. 3% is very low. Let me just make it 5% to make sense. Okay. Now, I borrowed $10,000 for 9 months with the interest rate of 5%. Annual interest rate is going to be 5%. How much should I pay at the end of the term, at the end of the 9 months? So, how much is the interest? Interest is principal, which is 10,000. How much is the rate? Annual rate is going to be 5% or 0.05. And how much is the time? Time is 9 months. Remember, the times always should be per year. So it's going to be 9 out of 12. Okay. Okay, because 1 year is 12, mine is 9 out of 12. But because the top is months, I converted 1 year into 2 months, which is going to be 12. Now it's going to be 9 out of 12. If we calculate this one, 10,000 multiplied by 0.05, which is the percent in decimal format, multiplied by 9 and divided the result by 12. Then it's going to be $375. $375 is the amount of interest that I should pay at the end of the 9 months or end of the period. How much going to be paid? I should pay in total. Maturity value. Maturity value is principal plus interest. Maturity value is principal plus interest. How much is the principal? Is $10,000. And how much is the interest? $375. So the maturity value that which I pay is going to be $10,375. Okay. Now, if I want to pay back this loan monthly, if I want to pay back by months, so I should divide this $10,375 to how many months? 9 months. If I want to calculate monthly payment in return, if I divide, then the monthly payment, is it right here? The monthly payment, it's gonna be 10,375 divided by 9. 10,375 divided by 9, which gonna be 1,152, 1,152 and 78 cents. Yeah, per month. So if this was again, I'm repeating the original question. If I borrow $10,000 for 9 months with the interest rate of 5%, how much gonna be the interest? Principal is 10,000, rate is 5% or 0.05, and time is 9 months or 9 out of 12. After calculating this value, the $375 is going to be the interest. If the question asking how much is the maturity value, maturity value is the principal or the original value plus interest. It's going to be $10,375. If the question asking how much is the monthly payment, if I want to return my loan per month, so divide the maturity value 10,375 by 9, by number of months, which gonna be $1,152 in 9 months. Okay. Now let's do another example. Let's say I borrowed $25,000 with the interest rate of 8% for 180 days. Okay, I borrowed $25,000 with the annual interest rate of 8% for 180 days. Okay, how calculate the interest? Calculate the maturity value. Okay, how much gonna be the interest and how much gonna be the maturity value? Now, what is the interest? Interest is principal multiplied by rate multiplied by time, which is in this example the interest gonna be, principal is $25,000 the interest is 8% or 0.08, and the time is 180 days. Because the time should be per year, so I should write it as 180 out of 365 days. 1 year is 365 days, and we are borrowing for 180 days. So 180 over 365. If we calculate this numbers, it's gonna be 25,000 multiplied by 0.08 multiplied by 180 divided by 365, which gonna be 986.30 dollar is the value of interest. Okay, now how much gonna be the maturity value? Maturity value is principal plus interest. Maturity value, again I'm writing the formula, is gonna be principal plus interest. How much is the principal? Maturity value, the principal was 25,000 plus how much is the interest? 986.30, which gonna be 25,986.30. Okay, it's gonna be the maturity value. So remember, when we are calculating the interest, simple interest, actually all of this one is simple interest. When we are calculating the interest, the rate is always annual rate and time is always per year. So if the time was year, just simply substitute in the formula. If it was 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. If the time was in months, just divided the number of months by 12. If it was 9 months, it's gonna be 9 out of 12. 7 months, 7 out of 12, or whatever. If it was in days, just divide by 365 and calculate the interest. If the question asking about the maturity value, then they calculate interest principal value or initial value plus the amount of interest to calculate maturity value. One about simple interest. In the next video I will talk about the compound interest. Thank you for now, and see you.